Commentaries, Mastering Your Library Series, Part 1 of 5. Now, this 5-part series is very practical. In fact, I would say of all the webinars I've done, this is one of the more practical ones because commentaries touch everyone. I would say that for everyone who studies the Bible, at some point in the Bible study process, they're going to touch a commentary. The question, though, that we want to address tonight is, what are those commentaries to do? How do they help us? So let's take a look at tonight's training topics. First, what are the types of commentaries and their content? I'm going to help you select your commentaries. I'm going to actually recommend some commentaries. We're going to cover the different types so that you know what the differences are. And this will not only help you buy the right kind of commentaries, but it will also help you study and use them to use them most effectively for Bible study and sermon preparation. Then after we get through that stage, we're going to go to part 2, which is organizing your commentaries, how you can prioritize them, how to create certain collections, and also how to leverage them in your layouts. Thirdly, we're going to talk about using commentaries for Bible study and sermon prep. This is where we're going to get real practical. Where, for example, or when in the Bible study process do we use commentaries? How to glean for cross-references, how to expand your word definitions, how to find grammatical insights, how to get expositional clarification, how to get theological illumination, how to cross-check facts and figures, and even some basic stuff like copy and pasting. And then lastly, we'll conclude with some image searching. So this is one packed webinar tonight and very, very practical. Now, we are in the 4th Monday of the month. That's right, we're just about ready to end June. And this is Mastering Library, Part 1 of 5. You can see that Part 2 next month, a month from now, will be lexicons, dictionaries, and encyclopedias. Then Part 3 will be theological resources. And then Part 4 will be sermons, illustrations, and applications. And Part 5, I'm not sure which one that is, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. So we got those coming up a month from now and so forth. Also, if you're new, we have free live training 3 times a month. Let's see, July 2nd, which will be next Monday, we're going to study the Important Doctrine series, and we're in Part 8, and this topic will be divorce and remarriage. You don't want to miss that important teaching. And then July 16th, will be 2 or 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks, will be the Foundations of Hebrew Word Study, where this time we're going to be looking at the Hebrew words morphology, whereas last time we did the Greek. And then the last Monday of the month is the Master in Your Library, Lexicons, Dictionaries, Encyclopedia. So if you haven't signed up, go to LearnLogos.com/webinar, and you can take advantage of that. One other thing to make you aware of, we have a special coming out tomorrow morning. So keep your eye lookout for a special email announcement for our 4th of July specials. And I'm very excited to be bringing that to you. And you'll be looking forward to those amazing deals I've got set up for you. So I want to get that out before I launch tomorrow's webinar so you can take advantage of that special with tonight's webinar. And I'll just give you a little bit of hint. It's a good deal. Promise you that. Okay. Now, let's see here. A couple things. The webinars are normally $9.99, $9.99, and we discount those 50% off for you for $4.99. We'll send you a link out in the next 24 to 48 hours if there's nothing technically that goes wrong. Also, don't forget about the training CDs. You know, a lot of times people come and watch the webinars and get a lot out of it. Webinars are very fast-paced. They're full of material, very intense, whereas the training CDs are self-paced, slow and systematic. Plus, we have interactive and non-interactive learning styles included in there. With 17+ hours of training and 305+ videos, we are the most comprehensive training on the internet. The orange and green CD overviews every single feature of Logos 4. In fact, when you buy the Logos CD training, anytime Logos updates version 4, we give you free training to update that software, so your training will never be out of date. The blue CDs comprise of 3 main items. Item 1 is that we give you over 130 book overviews. So this is a great way to learn your library as well as decide what to purchase. We also give you 11 Bible study lectures, and then the best part is we have a 11-step how to study the Bible, prepare a sermon process. So we'll take you through every step of the Bible study process and show you how to use Logos and apply Logos for that purpose. So when you get all these 4 discs combined, you really have one incredible set of training discs that will take you from beginner all the way through advanced. So if you don't have that, I recommend taking advantage of that 50% off. If you do the download only, it can be as low as $34.99 with the 50% off. So really great deal. Eric asked a great question. He says, can we prepay for the series? Unfortunately not. What you can do though is you can get a gift certificate, and that's a great way to kind of buy things in advance, and then you can use that gift certificate anytime you want. And the nice thing about the gift certificate is you can set the price. So you can pick how much you want, and then when the webinar comes out, you just apply it automatically. So great question, Eric. Just a quick reminder, we got some mini seminars coming to a city near you. The next one is Saturday, June 30th, and that'll be $80. If you already own the training DVDs, let me know when you purchase this, and we will give you a discount for the exact price you paid, so you don't have to pay twice. So that's a really good deal, because when you go to the mini seminars, included in the purchase price is the training. So be aware of that little special there. And then we have also one Saturday, July 7th in Kentucky. So visit LearnLogos.com and click on the mini seminar event and menu, and you will see the events listed there. All right, one more thing that's very important to point out. Let me go ahead and open up my Logos. What you'll see right here is a personal book that I have created for tonight. This personal book will be available with your purchase. This is a new thing that I'm doing now with all the webinars. So my notes become your personal book that you can use in Logos. So when you click on these links, they'll actually do something in the Logos program or take you to the website, etc. And as you can see, I'll expand the table of contents. This is a very organized personal book that's going to go through and show you everything that we're doing tonight. So very excited to bring this to you, and this again is included in every purchase. So one of the innovations I did this week is when we talk about the books, I'll show you the book cover so you have that, and then there'll be 2 links. Now the little money bag link, that'll take you to the LearnLogos.com store. So if you don't own the book, the link will take you right there, and it'll just take a second to pop up, where you can purchase the book. And so that's a great way. Keep in mind that over at the right, it'll always tell you if the book is in a collection, which is very important to keep an eye on. So you may already have the book, or you may not, and this is a great way to figure out whether you should buy it or not. Secondly, let me go back to the personal book. Next to the money bag icon is a set of books icon. This link is for those who actually have the book, and so when you click on it, the book will open up right there. So it's if you're not sure if you have the book, click on that link, and that'll open up the book right there to where I'm discussing. And Chris says, this is worth the cost of the webinar. You bet. And Bill chimes in, great user-friendly, helpful aids. Exactly. And Eric says, will you ever make the webinar playable for the iPad? Hey, great news, Eric. All the webinars work on the iPad. It's an MP4 file. So you simply just download that, add it to your iTunes library, and it will play in the iPad. So we can see a lot of people are very excited about this new feature. Takes a little extra time to make, but it's well worth it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on it and open it in a floating window. And this is how I would use it. I'm going to move it off to the side, and I'll be drawing from that book and clicking from there, even though you guys won't be seeing it. So just want to make you aware of that. So let me get that set up, and we'll get ready for tonight's webinar. So let's begin with really the first topic. So let's go back to the PowerPoint here. And let's talk about types of commentaries and their content. How do you go about selecting a commentary? Now, you may not realize this, but there are some amazing resources that can help you figure out the type of book before you buy it. And owning these handful of resources, there's actually 8 of them, can save you a ton of time. So let me open up the first one. and it's called Commentating on Commentaries. In fact, let me flip my mouse. There it is. Commentaries for Biblical Expositors, an annotated bibliography of selected works. So what James Roscup, the author, has done here, in fact, let me just go ahead and maximize that for easy reading, is he's gone through and identified commentaries. Now, he calls them synthetical and analytical. That's his organizational scheme. And then he goes through and talks about commentaries for the book of Genesis, commentaries for the book of Exodus. He gives you a bibliography, he gives you a comment, he makes important notes and insights to help you understand maybe the theological tendency of the book or the theological bent. Also, he gives you sometimes the dates and when it was published, but also other additional information. And this is every book of the Bible. So there it is, Genesis through the Minor Prophets. Then he goes into like general commentaries. He gives you background works and special studies in the gospel. So there's a little section there. And even, once again, going through book by book of every commentary for each book of the Bible. And so these are a wonderful resource to take advantage of. Sometimes there's Bible cross-references in there, which is kind of nice, and so forth. And if your book is, if you own one of the books that's in this book, Logos makes that link live. So for example, here we have Matthew in the Bible Knowledge Commentary. And if I click on that, guess what? The book of Matthew is opened up right there to the Bible Knowledge Commentary. So Logos has made these types of books really user-friendly. And Matthew, want to know how current is this particular resource? Well, we can find that out real easily by clicking on the info button here in the top right. So let me go ahead and do that. And this one's only a few years old, 2004, so 8 years old. So it doesn't always have the latest commentaries, but it's going to have a significant list in there. And so great question, Matthew. Now let me go through. Now this is again a commentaries for biblical expositors. In other words, a bibliography list of all these commentaries available for Bible study. Let me walk you through several others. The next one I want to show you is multi-purpose tools for Bible study. Now this one came out, since Matthew asked the date question, this one came out in 2003, so a little bit older, but nevertheless still very useful. Let me maximize the size of this one. And this one still has a commentary section. I want you to see that. But it also includes other books. So just want to make you aware of that. It has Greek and Hebrew, New and Old Testament. You have Bible dictionaries, Bible versions, Dead Sea Scrolls, internet resources, etc. So I wanted to make you aware that even though this is a much more generalized book, in it has a very important section. And so he's got what they call one-volume Bible commentaries, bibliography. Notice that he is not giving you so much a description or an explanation about them, but just giving you a simple bibliography. Not as helpful as the Roscup resource, but nevertheless giving you a list of what he believes are some of the resources you should own. So take advantage of that one. The next book I'd like to show you is the Biblical Counsel for Resources for Renewal. Now, even though this is a counseling bibliography book, nevertheless, in there are some books that are for commentaries as well. And so I just want to see here, commentaries containing biblical counsel. And so this is, if this is important to you and you're looking for that little extra piece of information, then you've got a nice little chapter in here where he can point out some resources where you can have both commentaries, general works, with some counseling information in there. So that's a pretty new resource as well, and take advantage of that. This next resource that I'd like to show you, let's go ahead and close this one. There we go. Let me close it down. Is called Tools for Preaching and Teaching the Bible by Stuart Custer. Now, once again, this resource has lots and lots of resources. I mean, you can see here on the table of contents, a little bit of everything is in here. Concordances, Bible handbooks, atlases. So this is really another one very similar to the multi-purpose. And let's see here. And let's scroll down. Let's see, here we go, the Critics Corner. There's some good things here for commentaries as well. Now, I'm not going to spend too much more time. I just want to rip through 4 more real quickly that will surprise you, that are still very good resources. Here's one that, as I was doing my research, really surprised me, which was from Spurgeon. Lectures to My Students, Volume 4. He comments on commentaries and gives you some advice on commentaries. Now, of course, this is Spurgeon. We're talking over 100 years ago. He's lecturing on the best commentaries, and still pretty fascinating to go through here and get a list of what he thinks are some of the best commentaries during his day. And that should be pretty cool. Now, Rich has a question. Should we assume that all the resources that these books list are available for Logos 4? Excellent question, Rich. And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Logos still, as many books as they have, not all of them are in the Logos format. And so that's something you always have to be sensitive for. But what this will do is give you that first step. What books should I have for a particular Bible book?